It's the 6th of August, 2016, and I feel a bit better, but I gotta go over here and grab my workout shirt. Time for a walk. So, status report. How I'm feeling right now. Well, there's that. I'm still feeling a bit of the fog. I'm not sure if it's better or worse, though. It's the difficulty with being in a fog. By the way, this is the advantage of doing these every single day. You see me in the best and the worst times, as it were. Sort of the transparency I always wanted to achieve and had problems achieving until now. So, yeah, it works. While I was out today, the Pokemon flowed. It was gorgeous. So, newly got off the top of my head, I got both genders of Nidoran, and I got a Paras. Those were my new ones. I also got some evolving done. And then, of course, the moment that you cross your fingers over, the Eevee evolution. Here's what I got. I'm kind of happy about this one. Because it would appear lately that Vaporeon is the king of the gems. So, having the electric version of Eevee, yeah, that makes me happy. At least until they add the next... I think the next generation is where they added all the new Eevees in, right? I just want my Leafeon. Dang it.
But like when you're dealing with a loved one who's in a state where it's just like, man, I can't even explain to go to a website to do a thing. It's like
is not he doesn't have any southern roots, so the accents don't bother him as much as
I can see that. Yeah,
they're just very clever. They're really very clever.
Yeah, I agree. Those are really cool. That might be something for Chris Spin at all. And it wasn't until, like, a month later or something playing with these things that I realized that it was just so difficult that the motor couldn't even push.
So I have an interesting cough after I talk, and Dad was talking to the doctor while he went to that doctor, and we may have an explanation. See, whenever I was a kid, and I mean baby levels of kid, and it continued on through my later childhood, I had acid problems. As in stomach acid. Now lately, I've been getting a bit gurgly in my stomach. I think I've even mentioned it on several snaps on here before. I always assumed it went along with, stuff that I had eaten and stuff like that, because it did seem to go with specific stuff. The doctor had a theory, and we're going to test it. She thinks I got reflux. Yeah, it came out of nowhere, didn't it? But then again, I get heartburn and stuff like that, and we have... she pretty much said low-grade acid reflux medicine would work for this. So we got some of the low-grade stuff, and yeah, that'd work. Or we're going to see if it works anyway. I'm going to start it tomorrow morning. I could start it now, but then I'll have to keep an eye on the 24 hours of it, right? So I'm going to do it first thing in the morning. And yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm also... my actual doctor had suggested B12, so yeah, I'm going to start the B12, a vitamin in the morning, and that acid reflux medicine. So I'm going to take my health seriously on that front. So I've kind of had a worry about this drive for a while. I've had it for, I don't know, a freaking long time. I was accessing a file on it earlier, and suddenly it disconnected from the system. It immediately reconnected, but that's weird behavior. So I'm backing it up to this drive. Funny how several years can make. Those are about the same size, and look at the difference. And size is an amount of memory on them, obviously. I think you had enough to gather that, but just in case. Critical Role on a Saturday. The mind boggles. Also, Mom was already busy with something, so yeah. Well, that was probably the most epic episode of Critical Role I've ever seen. It was awesome. And the audience interaction with it was fantastic. Also, we got the huge announcement that they're actually going to release Critical Role campaigns that work with 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. This is the sort of thing that might get me to be brave enough to Dungeon Master at some point. Because I just don't have the time to create one from whole cloth. But having a campaign to work with, on the other hand, just might make it happen. Just might. And honestly, not much else is going to happen tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off on here. So, good night, everyone. Hope you sleep well.